Adobe Photoshop is normally not associated with basic spot color separations. Most people will use Illustrator, Corel, or freehand for this type of work. However, sometimes it's a lot easier to separate these files inside of Adobe Photoshop. Let's run a color separation here. Go to the Actions palette and choose Basic Spot Color. Follow the instructions on screen. And now when the color range window appears, click a color. We're going to choose yellow here. Make sure the invert box is checked and choose more or less of that color to get it about right using the fuzziness slider. Click OK. Follow the instructions. And now when the new channel window appears, click the color box. When the picker window appears, click on the foreground color in the Tools palette. Click OK and OK again. A spot color channel has now been generated of the yellow and is named Spot Color 1. What we need to do now is to repeat this sequence for each color within the design. Click on the same action. When the color range window appears, now this time we're going to select the dark blue. Use the fuzziness to select the appropriate amount of the color. As you can see, bringing it up to 200 has selected too much, as now we're running into the light blue. So let's bring that back down to about here and click OK. Click the color chip here. Once again, click the foreground color, OK, and then OK again. And now we have the yellow and the blue. As each color is generated by the action, it's going to name them Spot Color 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. These channel names can obviously be changed by you. Now let's select the final two colors within the image. We'll take the light blue, bring down the fuzziness, click OK, and we're just running through that same routine. The last channel will now be the black. Okay, and now we're done. Yellow, dark blue, light blue, and black. A perfect spot color separation. However, there is one thing that we need to check, and let's zoom in on the image and take a look. There are small gaps between the yellow and the black, and between the light blue and the black. Now these gaps are very small and may fill in on press, but to make sure, we have an action that'll fix it, and it's called Trap Spot Colors Go. The yellow is selected here, so let's click the action. Those gaps have been filled. Now let's select the light blue and click the same action. Those gaps have now been filled. The separation is now perfect and ready for output. And I'd like to add that it's absolutely impossible to totally automate this process, since the software cannot know what color you're selecting. So some end-user intervention is required during the color separation procedure. If your basic spot color job is to be printed on a dark shirt, you'll obviously need a white underbase, and we've included an action to generate that channel. Open up your original file, where all image data is contained on that one layer named Layer 0, and run the basic Spot Underbase Go action. In a few seconds, it has generated the white underbase channel. Now let's open up a copy of our color separation. As you can see, I've deleted the RGB channels. We're going to add the white underbase to our destination file by selecting the Move tool, holding down the Shift key, and dragging that channel to our color separation. It will line up perfectly. Now let's move it to the top of the Channels palette. Upon further inspection of the white underbase, we notice that there is no white ink underneath the dark blue. And if this was to be printed on a black shirt, we would definitely want white ink underneath this blue. The reason why it doesn't exist is that this color is so dark that during the process to generate the white underbase, the program more or less sees this as a near black and omits it from the underbase. So we'll need to add it. This is actually a very simple thing to do. Let's click the Add Color Data to Base Go action. Follow the instructions. It's asking you to control-click on the color channel to be added to the white base. So we're going to control-click on that dark blue channel. And now we'll restart the action by clicking it here. As you see, it's now red. All of the data from the dark blue channel has now been added to the white base. Now there's one other thing that we probably should take a look at, and that's if the white base requires any choking. Now without a shirt background, that's going to be tough to see. So let's add one by clicking the Add Shirt Background Color action. And now we have a background color to our image. Now since we have a black border surrounding our art, this is not going to require any choking. What I've done here is modify the file slightly to extend that white underbase a little bit beyond the black, thus simulating if the file required a little bit of choking of the white underbase. So let's zoom in. And many times you'll run into a situation like this after generating a white underbase, where you'll have that little bit of an edge creeping out from behind your top spot colors. And there is a simple way to eliminate that. Choose your spot white underbase channel, take your magic wand tool, and click outside the image. Now go to your actions and choose choke white base by either 1, 2, or 3 pixels. We're going to choose 3 pixels here. It's done, and as you can see, that little white creeping from behind the image is now gone. The spot color separation is now ready for output to film. I'd like to just add a few points after the fact to make sure that no problems or difficulties are encountered while generating your spot color separations. The first is the underbase. The name of the white underbase channel, white spot underbase, cannot be changed. If you change it and attempt to modify it using any of the actions, it won't work, since the QuikSeps actions target that particular channel name. The second point is while selecting your colors using the basic spot color go action, when that new channel window appears, make absolutely certain selected areas is checked and not the masked areas. If masked areas is checked, the color channel will not be generated properly at all. So just make sure selected areas is checked. And that's about it.